3D Studio Max offers a lot of options for the user to choose to customize their own interface and add their own shortcuts to their liking. So let's go ahead and explore how would you add a shortcut that you like for a specific function. I'll click on Customize User Interface. And in this window, we will land on the Keyboard tab. And if you look down below, we have a list of actions and the shortcut assigned to it. So let's find out what's the shortcut for the saving the file. I'll scroll down to save. There we go, save file. Now notice the shortcut for that is Control S. So notice that the remove button here is active now. If I click on Save Custom UI As, the remove button is deactivated. That means that you can remove the shortcut that this action has and assign your own. So let's say for Save Custom UI, you want to add your own shortcut. You simply type in here whatever you like. If I type in a shortcut that is already occupied, it will tell you what's that shortcut assigned to. So letter M, or the shortcut M, is assigned to this action, the material editor toggle. So I don't want to pick that up. Let's see, letter Y is not assigned. So I can simply assign that shortcut to whatever action I picked to the left. But for this purpose, I'm not going to assign any shortcut, just so you know that you can set up your own hotkeys, what it's called, which is again referred to shortcuts. Next, I'm going to jump into the Colors tab, and in here you can set up the color of your choice. So let's say you pick any of the already set up colors in here, and you can simply click on the swatch tool and pick your own color and assign that in there. So I'm going to go ahead and leave that as default. There we go. Another thing that I wanted you to explore is you can load your own custom UI scheme. So if you click on that, you can go to your local hard drive, program files, Autodesk 3D Max 10, and then locate the UI folder in here and pick the UI that you like. See, it also includes the UI of Max 2009, how 3D Studio Max looked in 2009. So you can click on that simply and hit open, and it's going to load that scheme. So this is the colors and how the UI looked in 2009. I can go back to the default UI, and here it is, which again, it doesn't seem that there is much of a difference, but you can do that. So another thing, let's go ahead and click on Preferences. Now in here, the sections that I want you to focus on is the scene undo. So this is the number of undos that you can set up, and by default is 20. And the more you add in there, so the more you increase the number, the more memory you're going to take. So I would leave that as it is at 20. And for the UI display, now notice that, remember I talked at the beginning that you can add more tools here in the toolbar, and you can take some out. So you can simply uncheck that, and that will actually take up a use large toolbar button. So this will not have as many buttons. If I click OK, you would have to restart the program. That's what it says in order to kick, for that function to kick in. So I'm gonna hit OK. I'll go back again to Preferences because I wanted to actually go to the Files tab in here. And in here, I want you to look at the bottom left corner where you see that auto backup. Make sure that is enabled. What that does, it actually backs up 3 files of the one that you're working, and it does that by default at 5 minutes interval. So 3D Max automatically backs up your file. So if you want to revert back, if you made let's say you created something you don't like and you like your previous version, you can always back that up by going to wherever it's saving it. Okay, and then I'm going to go ahead and hit cancel on that one. Now another thing that you can do is, let's say we want the toolbar to be a floating box. We can simply right click and add more tools in here. See that? Or I can come here let me see. There we go. I can come here and drag. There we go. So click on that, click on dock, and you can dock that left, right, or you can leave that floating. So now this is actually floating. You can always come back and right click and say dock it to the right. You can do the same thing for the tools at the top. Let me see where, there we go. So you can put the mouse, see where it shows the main toolbar, and right below my mouse pointer it actually gives me those rectangular shapes. I can right click and say float. So now my tools are floating. Here we go. I can always right click and say dock to the top. See? Or I can, let me see if I can move them like that. Let's do the same thing for these. There we go, floating. And I'll push those down. There we go. So you can always go up left corner and drag them that way. You can right click again and dock them wherever you like to. Okay, and if you want to add more tools, you can simply click on these in here. So if I click on this, here are the tools, and I already docked them. So let's go ahead and undock and then close them out. Okay. One more thing that I want you to explore is, let's say I click on the box and I create a box, and if I go ahead and drag this to the right, to the left, then I can see that the parameters of that already came to the right, so I didn't have to scroll up and down or go to the modify. Here are the parameters, so it automatically brought them to the right, which is going to be easier for us to use, and they'll come in handy in the future.